What is going on out there, my beautiful people? We are back with another video today. Today is going to be a little bit different. We're not going to do our traditional sneaker review, but we're going to review a book. I just finished Grit by Angela Duckworth. It has a lot of wisdom we can utilize for running. And I've broken it into 5 sections, and I'm going to review each section together and talk about how the book in each 5 sections relates to running and what we can take away from this particular book. If you read the book, let me know in the comment section below. And if you have any recommendations on what I should read next, also let me know. But, and then if you like this type of video, if I should do more of these videos, let me know your feedback as well. I'm trying to not only just be known for sneaker reviews, running reviews, although I do love those and I do enjoy them, but I am taking a break right now. I'm on a 2-week break. It might be even 3 weeks, depending on how I feel, before I get back into training for the next half marathon in February. And so while I'm on break, I don't want to be thinking about running or thinking about the next review I should be doing in regards to running shoes. So if you like these types of videos, let me know and I will do more of them. Also, if you want to support me, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It does go a long way. If you got something to say, let your boy know in the comments below as well, and we can chop it up. Enough yapping, let's get into it. So, high level, I have notes I've written as well, so I'm going to be reading my notes too. But High Level Grit by Angela Duckworth is a book where she dives into the lives of successful individuals, from swimmers to cartoonists to writers to variety of different individuals who have experienced success in their lives, and she takes the common denominator, which in her opinion is grit, and she tells story on how we can utilize grit in our own personal endeavors to reach our optimal goals. And I love that because us athletes here, we know the day in and day out grind and the grit it takes, and what is required for us to achieve what we want to achieve, whether it's a time goal or a consistency goal. But it takes an immense amount of emotional pressure and stress, as well as planning and sacrifice. So I felt this book would be a great example to explain to us runners. All right, so I've broken it down to 5 sections, and we're going to talk about each section. I'm going to try to make this streamlined because I can go on and on about this stuff. I'm very passionate about mindset, and I think running is 70% mindset and 30% physical. The mindset is the most important aspect of running. We can debate that all day, every day. So I want to start with the key principles of how grit applies to running. We talked about a little bit, but let's dive into it further. In the book, success is tied to sticking to something over the years and not just the weeks. And we all know that. We all know that gains, specifically when it comes to running, comes in 18 months chunks. That's what I believe. It takes an entire 18 months before you can see significant change, not just one training block or the second training block. It takes 18 months, and that's also included with rest and recovery. So taking time off, extensive time off to let the body repair and recover, exactly what we're doing right now. Some of you are also taking a break, and allows the body to recover. But there's a saying, when you feel like you're about to hit the wall, when you feel like you're getting tired, when you feel like you're about to be defeated, don't quit, take a vacation, okay? And that is what Angela is saying in the book as well. Success takes years, not just weeks. So at the end of the day, you must love the process. The success is in the process. It is all about the journey, not the destination. And I know I sound like a broken record, but we all can agree that the better process is, the better the outcome will be. So refining the process, honing in on the process, not being afraid to change the process, especially if it's not working, but ideally focusing on the process. That is a takeaway. Love the process, not the medal. The second one is perseverance through setbacks. Now, setbacks is inevitable. Adversity in life is inevitable. So in the book, right? Gritty people see setbacks and failures as opportunities to learn. For them, there is no such thing as failing. It's only learning. You either succeed or you learn. There's no such thing as failing in the book, right? This can also be applied to running. There is no such thing as failure in running because we all do this for the joy of it, for the love of it, right? If we don't reach a goal, a time goal at a marathon, I had to teach myself this as well. It is a learning opportunity. What can you learn from that experience that you can apply to your process to make it better? Each setback is a lesson that will sharpen your edges for the next opportunity. So 2A, this is also a part of perseverance. The importance of deliberate practice. It has to be intentional work. It can't just be going through the motion. Show up, produce, no excuse. In the book, practice must be focused, purposeful, and feedback driven. Be purposeful about work, intentional about it. You also have to be focused, day in, day out, night in, night out. Got to be feedback driven, either through data or through a coach or a community, but always be feedback driven because the individuals that are seeking feedback are utilizing that to improve their process. So the takeaway from that is smart practice beats mindless miles all day, every day. And here's my favorite, number 3, is you gotta have a growth mindset. Are you an individual that is pessimistic or are you optimistic? When you are faced with a challenge and it's tough, are you the individual that says, this doesn't matter, I quit, and you never try it again? Or are you the type of person that says, I am going to learn from this challenge and then reapply myself so I can circum this challenge? That is the difference to achieving your goals, is the mindset, a growth mindset, being optimistic through in and throughout. So in the book, grit works hand in hand with believing effort equals improvement. And I always say this to myself, effort plus time equals improvement. You need effort and you need time, but with those two, you will get improvement. So the key takeaway here is your limits aren't fixed, okay? If you're an individual that is running a 4-hour marathon and you're dreaming of one day becoming a sub 2:30 marathoner, that is within your reach. You just gotta believe, and you also have to have purposeful action, and you also have to be optimistic, okay? And you have to be deliberate in your actions. So the takeaway here is your limits are not fixed. They expand with consistency. And for the 4th one here, higher purpose and intrinsic motivation. In the book, purpose is the fuel for grit, especially when motivation is low. And this one is important because, especially in a long marathon block, 18 weeks, that is grueling. It is extremely tough to stay consistent. One thing that I always keep in the back of my head is I am not just doing this for myself. The person I'm becoming from this process not only helps me, but it helps my family. They see me get up day in, day out, regardless of how I feel or what I want to do in that morning or in that training session. I go out, I get my run in, I get my stretches in, I do my workout. They see that consistency. I have a daughter. She sees that. My wife, she enjoys the fact that I go out and put in hard work because that makes her work hard as well. So the purpose here is you're not doing this just for you, but the knock-on effects for your family, your friends, your community. They see you putting the hard effort in, they are also going to be motivated. Even if they hate, deep down inside, they see the consistency, they see the love, the passion, the work ethic, and it rubs off. So the purpose here is remember who you're doing this for. So the key takeaway in this section is, what is your why? And make sure your why is deeper than just a facade, a training goal, a time goal. Make sure your why goes beyond just yourself. And 5th section, practical takeaways for runners. This whole running ordeal, endurance grind is not just for the short term. This is a long-term practice. So we got to think years and not just our next race. We also have to reframe our setbacks. Treat bad races like data points, not dead ends. And this is something I had to learn for myself, especially after Los Angeles and bonking in mile 22. I have to remind myself day in and day out that it was a learning experience, that I needed to learn how to fuel properly for myself, which will then allow me to be a better runner overall. And we also have to practice deliberately. That is mixing easy miles with targeted, hard training. Workouts that make us rethink life. And then we also have to adapt a growth mindset. We have to see efforts as an investment. No day is wasted when you're training. It's just a stacking, okay, until you get to a tipping point. Effort is not a punishment. Running with a purpose beyond the miles, and that should help you be fulfilled. That's all I got. I hope this was helpful. I hope we can all learn something from this. I enjoyed this book. There's another book I should read and we should do another review on. I'm all for it. Let me know in the comment section below. I appreciate you guys always, and I will see you when I see you. Deuces.